Your family is unfortunately dealing with generations worth of trauma until you have the stubborn one that says, I refuse to believe that this is normal. Everybody else has said it's normal. I don't believe this is normal behavior, and I want to actually address it.
I love that you just made being stubborn a good thing.
You have to be sometimes.
Yeah.
You have to be.
This is eye-opening for me. You're right. Yeah. The person who breaks the cycle is the stubborn one, and it's a good thing.
And it's the person who feels it the hardest because you're going up against generations worth of stagnation because we didn't, and I saw it mostly through, and I'm sorry.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to use this in my report, but I'm just gonna clip it and listen to it as an affirmation daily.
Oh, I mean, I just, this was something I had to get from my mom because my mother, she's the youngest of seven, and they were raised in Trinity Gardens, and there was so much around the family that just made their upbringing difficult, but it was also like a sentence of there's seven kids in that family. There's no way all seven of them are going to be okay. One of them are going to go to jail, but none of them did. But it was that weight of having to be better, having to provide, having to figure it out that prevented all of them from addressing a lot of the trauma they went through individually and as a family. And it wasn't until my mother had me that made it say, okay, wait. This superhero mentality we all had to do to cope, it's not healthy. It's not healthy in the slightest. And it doesn't take away from us when we say we need help. It doesn't take away from us when we say, this moment in my life sucked, but me pretending like it's okay is doing more damage to my kids than it's doing to me as a person, because I'm teaching them that ignoring their emotions and sucking it up and not acknowledging the fact that they're hurting, I'm teaching them that that's okay. And now I have a daughter who is an overachiever, who has to take direction completely like verbatim Bible. Yes, I have a daughter who is so strong and resilient, but is burdened by all of these practices that she saw me do. We wait. We have to figure something out. And when you have that stubbornness to say, I'm not going to allow this to seep into the next, that's when the real healing begins. And it's like you feel the heaviness more with my mother and me because we're effectively going against 5 generations worth of behavior that said we don't have the luxury to feel what we feel. We just have to figure it out and go. So that stubbornness is good because if you don't have that stubbornness, it allows the same thing to happen over and over again. And what have we always said? Psychosis is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Yeah. So it's just definitely a passion of mine. I just wish I had more hands to do more things, but I definitely would be a strong advocate for, changing the narrative around just acknowledging that we've been surviving, just acknowledging that life has been hard.
The weight that would lift, yeah.
And it's not complaining. It's not complaining. It's not being ungrateful. It's just acknowledging that I, as an individual, and my family as a whole have been through hell and back to get to where we are. And we can celebrate it, but take a moment to acknowledge the humanity behind what we had to bear in order to get here. And in doing that, that allows you to free up so much of yourself to explore other options, to do other things, to put that mental energy of trying to pretend you're okay, try to pretend like everything's fine. That energy can now go towards you actually being okay and just existing.